like this. Yeah, I don't know. This is weird to get situated.
Oh no, I'm good now. I just threw my cord. You threw your cord on the ground, and I was like, that makes sense.
Oh, right.
I didn't want because my cord was behind the glass. I pull the cord, glass comes down.
A lot of different things, yeah.
That's
kind of what I was thinking, because I was like, I need to have my drinks like readily available. I need like one more table.
A table here would have been money.
I got one in the breezeway. I should have grabbed it and put it right there.
It's up to you.
Nah, fuck it, I'm gonna reach.
We'll be all right.
Yeah.
Your drink's right there. Anyways.
Yeah, that one. I got my chasers, the beers.
Hey. Ooh. Why do you have 2 beers and I got none?
Well, I got one for you if you want it. Like I was like, grab one. I'm like, in case he changes his mind, I'll grab a beer too.
Stay tuned, YouTube, because CP may be taking his second ever shotgun of his life.
Oh, right. I actually thought about bringing out the Cuervo because I had a little. I was like, you know what, shot before.
I would have gotten weird. Hey, UFC Fight Island. Clearly, we're as close to an island as we can get.
We tried our best to reinvent Abu Dhabi.
Exactly. And, this is as Abu Dhabi as it's going to get
here in Michigan. Well, let's get the intro in. Let's just have some fun, man. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Pro Fishing Fans. My name is CB. With me is...
Fight Island Clay Hager.
Clay.
Yo, shout out the palm trees by the pool.
Where? You see, I told me. We tried, man.
The little palms. I was looking around. I was like, this motherfucker got a setup. This was planned. This was all planned.
You know, team put it together. I just was the labor. And
makes sense.
Her and CB came up with the idea, and we were just kind of...
It was a great idea.
Kind of just started moving. I'm going to be honest, a lot more happened than I anticipated fiscally. Yeah. I'm sitting here going, the only thing I can do is just keep up adding up numbers, and I'm like, well, how? You know what? I don't even ask, because I get stressed out. Yeah.
Hey, at least you know when to just say, you know what? It looks good.
Well, and I was just like, you know what? Whatever the cost is, as long as we have a good summer back here and the kids enjoy it, I'll be happy, and the money's worth it.
That makes me feel good. Like, I feel good about myself for complimenting you,
and
because now that I knew, as soon as you heard that, you were like, right, it looks good. I paid for that shit. I planted that shit, and it looks fucking good. You're absolutely correct.
Yeah, I appreciate that, and but I do want to give credit for all the planning to go to my wife and kids.
Fair. It was very humble of you.
So,
unlike Michigan fans.
I know.
Shout out Chris Sparrow, and shout out Nick Cook, a.k.a. Poser U of M, a.k.a. Poser Wolverine, a.k.a. What's a Wolverine anyway.
Those motherfuckers got me fucking hot, though.
Nick's a U of M fan. I call him a poser all the time, but that's an inside joke that stems back to the roommate years.
Certainly.
I sat
there when Chris was going off. I was like, you know what? You keep looking up shit, motherfucker.
I know.
You're not scary big, motherfucker.
Hey,
I've met big dudes.
Here's the thing. If you're that much of a fan, you got to come to me without the use of internet and then have conversations.
Right.
Because it kind of goes back to what you and I talked about. You had, like, we made up the proficient fans rule. If you weren't alive during that time, it's hard to talk shit.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard for me, or us, to talk shit about Michigan State's 1950s runs.
Right,
the 4 championships that we had, or whatever, man. It was a stupid amount.
Yeah, it was a good amount right there.
It's hard to go back there and, like, be cocky about it, you know. It's like, now,
I know nothing. I got video.
If you're talking about, like, hey, like, you know, as a school, this is the amount of wins we have, I guess I can get it. It's still a milestone. It's still an accolade. But, like...
They were one of the few schools in the United States, though.
So I was going to say...
Now, I get it. Like, we came in 6 years later,
yeah, but once again, in hindsight, when you look back, we all are at least educated enough to know Michigan State, when they first became a university, was it 1896? It was 1896.
1896 is what I put in the message. So.
We didn't become a university to play football.
We were there teaching people how to farm.
Nor did U of M become a university to play football.
Yeah.
It just happened to be that out of the 6 or 8 relevant universities in the country, they were one that happened to have a lot of good football players at the time.
Now, I guess, I don't know if this is like putting down Michigan State, but I mean, I guess they're considered the Yale of second-tier schools. The Harvard of second-tier schools, if you're not looking at the Ivy Leagues.
I would give it to them. Dude, they're old enough. From an athletics standpoint,
I was going education with that part.
So, but my point being is, in the early 1900s, if I was interested in playing this new game called football, I would probably look to going to U of M rather than any other school within hundreds of miles from me at the time.
Because you got to.
It just makes sense. So I get it. It just, and I won't take. I mean, you can't take it away from them. I'm not sitting here
That's
saying
the reason why
you didn't earn those.
It got to a point where they kept on bringing up old stats. I'm like, you know what?
Hey,
if I'm going historically, you're right. You got us over the history. But I got a future I'm looking forward to that I intend to be happy for, not something that I didn't even get to experience.
Forward thinking, not backward thinking.
Yes.
That's why nobody wants to talk about how relieved they are of not having to travel to the West Coast to play them Huskies.
Right? Or who else is out there this year is going to be sick?
University of Miami was coming to Spartan Stadium this year. That would have been dope.
That would have been.
I'm a little upset we're missing that one. BYU, we were supposed to play BYU, Toledo, like.
You know who I'm glad we're not seeing is fucking Arizona. Fuck
Arizona State.
Yeah, Arizona State. I'm sorry. Yeah. All I could think of was Herm Edwards, and I'm just like, I want to punch you, and I fucking love you.
Frustrating.
Oh.
I know we usually talk about our weeks and shit, but I'm just going to keep the sports rolling.
Yeah.
We just brought up Big Ten. We haven't discussed Big Ten switching over to conference-only games this season. We just touched on the traveling. So we know that, like Michigan State, for example, we're going to miss our game at BYU, actually. So cool, we don't have to travel there. Toledo was coming into Spartan Stadium. We had the University of Miami coming into Spartan Stadium, which, real talk, had we been able to, like, if we win that game, that would have been a big win.
Yeah.
Miami's on the up right now.
Yeah, they're starting
solid.
to get into that whole 90s. We're not that good, but I mean, like,
yes.
But I mean, like, you got to. They got the building blocks to start to build that arrogance.
They're getting their swagger back.
There we go.
It makes me think of that high school football team. You know which one I'm talking about?
The one in Alabama?
They were doing an interview.
Yeah.
I think I'm getting my swagger back.
And that one kid goes, and what we're doing is we're going to go on the field, we're going to hit them with everything we got. We're going to hit them. And then you got the kid in the background going,
this little kid, 110 pounds.
Right.
We're going to stick him. And we're going to go, and we ain't going to stop. Shout out Notre Dame. Boo. Still suck.
Yeah.
But Ruby, I mean.
Which I know I said before, but Joe Montana said that shit.
I said Montana.
He's like, just remember, it's a movie.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're a dick. Like, here's the thing is, I was like, that's living scripture until he said, keep in mind, that's a movie. And I was like, you're a dick, man. You just crushed my fucking heart on that movie.
That's a little rough. When you have multiple Super Bowls, that's what you get to say.
Put the dick out on the table and go, sploop.
When you win multiple Super Bowls, that's what you get to do.
And almost take a non-existent, I wouldn't say non-existent, Kansas City Chiefs team. He almost took him to the promised land himself.
Yeah. Ooh, the older days.
Yeah.
There was a...
Christian Okoye, dude.
There was I can't remember what Madden it was. I want to say Madden 96. Does that sound about right? Montana and Kansas City, 96,
yeah.
Somewhere in that ballpark. And I remember playing my older cousin Jason. And he had that game on the Sega Genesis. And, I mean, when I say older, he's like 6, 8 years. I don't know how, it doesn't really matter, but certainly. He's a significant chunk older than me. So back when I'm 9, yeah, teenager Jason's going to whoop my ass in Madden, so of course I'm getting pissed. All this dude did on every kickoff, or pretty much any time he touched the ball, would just hit B, or which ABC, yes, Genesis was ABC. B was spin. And all he would do is just spin. And guess who we played with? The Lions.
Oh, yeah.
And guess
Barry
who we
Sanders.
had?
You got a little Barry Sanders
Barry
action.
Sanders.
Oh.
And he would just...
That's rough.
It's not like we played all the time, but the times we did play, I was upset.
I had an old roommate. Did you play 007 GoldenEye?
I didn't really mess with 64 when I was a kid.
Okay.
I got onto it back like when I got into college. I was at Genesis, and then my parents my dad was all about the next grade, so then it went to like Sega Saturn 3D.
I remember
that 3DO.
I remember the Saturn. I remember the 3DO.
3DO was a big deal. There was a game called Balls, and it was just like fighters built with like balls.
Oh, jeez.
And you fought each other, and it was called Balls. That's my story, folks. Yeah. Balls sponsored.
See, like I had the first game system I ever got was the NES.
Yep.
And then the next PlayStation that I got that was mine was the Xbox.
Okay.
Like,
a little bit of a jump.
Yeah. I mean, I played PlayStation and I played the other gaming systems because I had friends that had them.
Yeah, if you got friends that got them, then yeah, whatever.
But I don't know. Like, me having it was just never. It wasn't that big for me. I was just like.
Didn't matter if your friends had it.
Yeah. Well, and
if you weren't going to play games by yourself and you're only going to play with friends, go to your friend's house and play it.
Yeah. So that's basically what happened. And then like I had when Ryan Haley and I lived together, he had a PlayStation 2 and we created Madden teams there, and we were playing the same season or the same, and so we would sit there and we'd both play weeks, and we always play each other in the Super Bowl. And he was the Colts, and I was the Lions.
Like regular rosters or drafted rosters?
Regular rosters.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, we built them motherfucking rosters. Yeah. Like, from
trades,
the bullshit that we had. And like, he was smart, man, because he had Peyton, and he had Edgerrin James.
And he would have had Marvin
Harrison, yeah. And I had Herman Moore.
Herman Moore. Oh, and Herman Moore.
Yeah. I think Johnny Morton might have been there. I don't know.
Say Johnny Morton. That's funny.
So, yeah. But yeah, I mean, and then ever since then, I've been kind of keeping up on video games because I've been an adult. I mean, I bought the Xbox when I was an adult.
Yeah.
So.
I would like to digress back to the Big Ten football.
Yeah, how'd we end up in fucking video game world? Hey guys, in case you didn't know, we don't have notes.
And that's how I ended up in Nigeria. Right. So anyways, back to Big Ten football. Big Ten football. No out-of-conference games.
Yeah.
So where's your mindset? So I'm going to fabricate 2 questions on the fly because that's how I roll.
I'm with it.
So one, how do you feel from a COVID standpoint? Do you think it's going to be that big of a deal to not travel? Let's talk Spartans first, and then we can elaborate on the country also. But do you think it's going to be that big of a deal not traveling to 2 or 3 games when you're still traveling to Big Ten games anyways? And 2, do you think it's going to impact the players' focus or mindset coming into the first 4 weeks? And I say it that way because a lot of teams, your out-of-conference games are at the beginning of your season. But not everybody's bye week is the same. So you may end up with somebody who does an out-of-conference bye week, out-of-conference, conference, out-of-conference. I don't know if it rolls that way or if it's always out-of-conference guaranteed first. But nonetheless...
it wasn't guaranteed everything, because I remember there was a couple of conference
So COVID-minded question, and then team mentality. How do you think they're going to...
The COVID... I guess getting rid of 4 games... I mean, because they got rid of 4 games, right? Yeah.
It's like 3.
3 games, 3 to 4 games. Yeah, I mean, you do cut it down, your chances of spreading this virus down because you're not engaging with other possible candidates that could have this virus. Do I believe that's going to do much? They're fucking college kids. I mean, I just saw an article here in town about the city of Kalamazoo, or Western was basically putting out this thing telling the fraternity row stop fucking having parties, because it's they're trying to stop the spreading.
Rona.
Yeah, so I don't think. Do I think that the travel portion of it is really going to change? No, because they're private planes. They're not riding coach with Myrtle on her way to fucking,
Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, to Myrtle Beach. I mean, they're not traveling with those people, so I don't think that would be the scare. More so.
Yeah. So, reason I asked that, the way I'm feeling, I mean, I get it. I'm not saying it was a stupid decision. They're just trying to decrease the amount of exposure and unnecessary travel. And I'm for it. I mean, at the end of the day, no matter what Big Ten team is playing whoever, the whole goal is to bring more attention to the Big Ten. That's the primary objective. Right. So Big Ten to Big Ten games, that's money. That's Big Ten, viewing. That's going to be primetime national television.
More night games.
Michigan State at BYU.
Whatever. You can miss that week and be whatever.
And, you know, I was having a conversation with a friend, and, you know, we were talking about the Big Ten. So we were like, okay. And I was like, so Rutgers goes halfway across the country to play Nebraska and Iowa? You know, I was like, well, I don't understand. There's still travel. So it brought me to that point of, you know, reducing the travel, sure, I get. But if we're traveling anyways, you know, what is 3 weeks going to be? Now, that's a naive, like, mindset. I get that. But I guess at the end of the day, you know, I guess, to be clear on where my stance is, whatever gets us to football, I'm willing to take the sacrifice. If they say, Clay, you're going to lose out on 3 games in the season, but you're going to play your regular, like, conference games, I'm like, if that's what it takes, I'd rather do that than sacrifice the whole season.
Well, especially when you're, you know, a junior, senior, you know.
And it just still sucks, but I mean, like, this is affecting everybody.
But here's the thing, though. My opinion on this is the fact that Colin, I don't know if you heard Colin this week. He kind of touched base on this, but he was like, he was for getting rid of these preseason games in general, and actually, it's just like he was talking about the Big Ten in particular, and he's just like, and what they need to do is get Nebraska out of there. They need to go back to like the Big 12 because it doesn't make sense. You get like, you know, they could go play Texas kids and those parents could easily drive there.
Yeah.
It's hard for them to, you know, from Nebraska to drive all the way to,
I mean,
Pennsylvania or something like that.
As far as realigning, not to cut you off, but to piggyback off of it, as far as realigning conferences, I personally feel like that's too much of a stretch. I think saying, all right, you're going to be in this conference, you're going to be in this like, it's just too much. We're doing too much to make it happen at that point. And I feel like it's ruining the integrity.
Well, I'm not talking about doing it this year. I'm talking
no,
about, like, I was like co-signing with it, like,
okay,
get rid of them later.
Sure.
Notre Dame has to find a home.
Yeah.
You say you find a home. Guess what? You put them in the Big Ten. Makes the most sense.
Yeah. So
and they would be a very competitive team in the Big Ten.
Yeah. Okay. So with now knowing that, yes, I would agree with you. That makes more sense. But forward thinking, could they potentially move them? Sure. Now they just recently got introduced to the Big Ten, so it'd be kind of wonky.
Yeah, but
now
they
just pull them.
They didn't make any impact.
They
didn't make the impact that I expected them to make.
You didn't see that women's field hockey team. I'll tell you what. No, but yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I guess to me, it just doesn't matter. Like, okay, put it this way: COVID doesn't happen, we wouldn't give a shit. They'd be in the Big Ten. Okay.
No, true. 100%.
So like, I try and keep the perspective of that because if it wasn't a big deal then, it shouldn't be that big of a deal now.
The good thing about this virus. What the fuck? All right.
Are we episode 92?
Yeah.
I think the title's going to be "Thank God for COVID."
Yeah, right. There we go. It has brought our minds to a different place of thinking, to start thinking about things that kind of make more sense, maybe. You know, Nebraska being in the Big Ten really doesn't make sense other than they're a hard-nosed football team like what we do in the Big Ten. They're not the show and go like you see in Texas. You know, I don't want to say show and go, but I mean, they're pretty fucking fast. You know, they're more
the big boys in the trenches, though.
Yeah, they do. But, I mean, Nebraska, the way they play, their program, makes sense, but legit, you know, where they're at, that doesn't really make any sense. Mm-hmm. Especially, I mean, I remember when it was a big deal for that Penn State was joining the Big Ten.
Yeah. So,
I mean, you know, I just, and that's pretty far out there. Rutgers, when we found out Rutgers was joining, I'm like, geez, New York? I'm like, now the Big Ten's, I mean, when I looked at what these conferences are supposed to be, I thought they were supposed to be all kind of centrally located, saying, this is our group of people. And now we're just like, hey, let's put a Big Ten team out in fucking California.
Yeah.
You know, hey, USC, come on over, join us.
No, I'm good.
Yeah, right. You know, I mean, but that's exactly, I mean, that's kind of like when you start spreading out your conferences, that's what you're getting.
I mean, if Notre Dame wasn't so selfish, Nebraska wouldn't be in the Big Ten. Notre Dame could have just joined the big boys, played some real sports.
Yeah.
But they'd rather stay independent.
No, okay, so I'm sure I know, but right off the top of my head, I don't. what is the purpose of them staying independent? Why are they so dead fast on we're not joining anybody?
Tradition.
That's it.
That's all I can think about.
I mean, because they're pseudo with what the ACC.
They'd lose for basketball.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the reason why they have to play football games
They
against
would
them down
lose.
there.
They'd probably lose their NBC contracts for television rights. Joining the Big Ten. I mean, I'm off the top. I don't know if these are true. So, like, we would have to look them up. Somebody else.
It's like a rational. I mean, just a random question.
The only thing I can think of is pride, tradition, and money.
I mean, that all makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, without knowing.
I mean,
without
makes
actually
sense
knowing.
of, like, what it might be, you know, but, and who else? There's another independent team.
You're asking the wrong dude. I only care about one thing, and that's go green.
Go white.
Nice shirt, by the way.
The conversation in the group chat had me going, man. I was like, you know what?
You put it on?
When I went in to go get the beers and water, I was like, you know, I gotta change shirts. It had me going, so I had to represent.
I was at Hopcat. Now I was, like I said, I was having beers with Mark and got some food. I just stopped talking to Mark. I completely ignored Mark. I was like, I gotta take care of business. The fucked up thing is he's in the same chat, so he loaded up like a GIF, waited for the right time. It was like, I'm in. Sent GIF, and I was like, yo, both those were fire. We were fighting, and he's like, honestly, who throws a shoe? And I was like, yo, that was perfect. Thank you for that.
Right.
So, then I apologized. But then I got some fantasy football information out there, so that was good.
Yeah, that was dope.
Sorry about Balls Deep League. If we end up drafting at that time, we'll just have to figure out how you want to do your draft.
I'll figure it out. I mean, like
either later that night, earlier in the day.
Well, just because I was gonna say for COVID, I mean, like I feel like it's been whatever. So
yeah, we may just end up having to do a at-home draft. Like, but you could make it earlier.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? 10 a.m.
Well, I was gonna say, like, I mean, well, that's the thing is we're not getting together this year.
No, right. But I'm saying if you make it early.
Oh yeah,
me, Justin.
Everybody
we
gets
can
on
go,
the computer.
Go over to Nick's, jump on the laptops, do our draft.
Right.
We're already hanging out. It's almost half our league.
Well, I'll probably hang out with T because she's got.
Oh yeah, or have T come over.
Oh, I could do that too.
I mean, hey Nick, I'm making plans at your house.
Early draft party for a draft that you're not a part of at your house.
My garage code still works on the car, so we'll be all right. All right. Well, we covered some of that. NFL. There was something in the NFL that we were touching on that I was going to mention. What was it?
Well, I think it was the fact that they're talking about preseason.
No preseason.
I mean, they already got rid of 2 games. They were talking about
getting rid of that up. I'm pretty sure that there's no preseason. Maybe I missed it, but I could have swore that they already proposed no preseason and that it was like rumored to just be agreed upon that there wouldn't be preseason games, or they've already put it through that there aren't preseason games. We'll figure it out here in a second, folks.
2 days ago, let's see here. I'm just trying to find the newest information. I'm sorry. But yeah, let's see. Here's what we know. I'll just go to Espen. It's been 100 days, blah, blah, blah. Effective announcement. I don't like you not having all of our discussions for our focus of the normal tradition.
Well, CB's reading. Shout out CB for getting the nice, beautiful patio set up, ready for us. He got the I'm gonna call it the production lights behind the camera just in case it gets dark.
Yeah.
We got the mosquito lanterns, whatever those are called. What do we call those?
Tiki torches.
Tiki torches. We got those already lit. We had a bar back there, but we moved it up front.
Yeah, we had to because it just made more sense.
And then he's got the pool in case it gets real weird. I bet that pool feels nice. Probably
it's
chilly
warm right now. No, it's actually warm.
Is it?
I got in there today to stir it up, and
nice.
Because like I said, it was pretty cloudy from all the rain that we had gotten. I'm not seeing anything that said 100%.
All right, then it's probably not a fish yet, but
no, that's what the owners were looking.
Yeah, normally there's four weeks of preseason.
Or maybe it's players.
And then they were going to reduce it. I think they did reduce it to 2. They passed that. We talked about that in previous episodes. But now, because of COVID, they're thinking about scratching both preseason games altogether. You know, and I'll be honest, man, I don't know if I'm for scrapping all of them. I feel like, you know, maybe at least one preseason game is almost necessary like, this is still a professional sport, and as much as I want it, and don't get me wrong, like, I want it no matter what, I still want these, like, athletes to come in professionally. Like, I don't want them coming in, like,
I want
not
good
conditioned.
football.
That's what I'm saying, bro. I want good competitive football. Like, so I don't know about no preseason. Like,
But-
can you imagine their first live? Because you know they're not going to be scrimmaging. So, like, their first live, like, seeing live action is.
Well, those
week
scrimmage.
one?
I was gonna say like. I mean, have they said they're not going to do?
Well, if they
scrimmage
can't
against them?
preseason, why would they scrimmage?
It's not about not. They're just talking about just getting rid of it.
What do you mean?
I mean, like, you scrimmage anyways before preseason games.
Right.
So,
But if you can't, it's COVID. It's preventing that, I think.
yeah.
So in the COVID days, as I call it, if you can't preseason, you sure as hell ain't going to clear a team to travel to another team's facility to scrimmage. It's just, to me, it goes hand in hand due to the pandemic.
But most of this would come from the Players Association. Saying, I mean, the players don't want to do preseason games.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I don't see why they're still with scrimmage. I mean, I understand 100%
Yeah.
what you're saying. I'm just saying that I don't feel like the Players Association is going against it for COVID reasons. I feel like they're just going. I mean, once again, this whole virus, COVID-19, has made it so things can get pushed.
I guess what I would argue is, I would say, as safe as the players are trying to be, when it comes down to COVID rule and regulation, this is league pushed. The league doesn't want to take any chances, period. We both would agree upon that.
Yeah.
So if the league's not trying to take chances, and finally the players are like, yo, let's not play preseason, you're right. I feel like that there won't be preseason games. I feel like this is in even if the NFLPA is pushing it, this is in favor of Roger Goodell in the league.
So you think
As far as
practice will
safety.
get a little
As far
fucking-
as safety.
You know, this year's Hard Knocks is gonna be dope. Shout out HBO. You need us.
Yeah, it's all gonna
show.
be one-on-one.
You need a sports show, HBO. We can do it. I mean, you already
Because
lost
enough.
You already lost boxing.
And I haven't seen the shop.
Yeah.
Where's the shop been?
COVID. Look, we still fucking.
We
produce.
fucking recording?
We still make it happen. I mean, I'm just saying, we still make it happen. Look,
I mean, someone out there is smart.
have not missed a week. We haven't let the pandemic miss a week. Now, granted, during I mean, like, we are not 6 feet, but
5'11" and a half.
we're at 5'10".
I'm 6 foot
Man.
with shoes.
So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think that these people are going to be left on these teams a lot longer. Cut's going to be not as quick.
Yeah.
Just because there's like they're going to cut them in their head, but they're going to need them for the hitting dummies. Oh, that sucks.
You know what sucks?
For them.
Being a rookie. Being a rookie during this
And
time.
you're not able to
actually getting that true, like, I made it.
I get to go
You
to
can't even show up. Like, well, I guess you could.
Now
but
they
like,
can.
Yeah,
They
now
can.
that's what I said. I guess you could now, but what a shitty rookie experience. I guess you're not getting hazed. I guess the world's hazing you.
No, they'll get hazed because the fact that training camps haven't started yet.
God is just
Oh, wait,
like,
I'm just-
ha!
Hazing.
Look at all you.
Hazing isn't a thing. Remember?
Oh,
You
yeah,
can't
sorry.
haze.
There is no hazing.
But there won't be any. I mean, there'll still be the get up in front and sing in front of everybody, and hey rookie, carry my fucking shoulder pads, shit.
I guess to me that's still hazing.
Yeah.
The term
physical.
carries a little bit more weight back in the day. It was a little worse. The hazing was a little
More physical. Now they go for the
a
pocketbook.
little not safe for work.
Because I remember the rookies have to pay for the fucking dinners, and I remember.
Ooh, yeah.
I remember hearing tons of stories of where people are like, yo, like, they were buying bottles of wine to take home. And these are like, $1,000 bottles of wine.
I mean, when you know what somebody got signed for, it's kind of hard to be like, bitch, I know you got the money. It's been a month. You ain't spent that shit yet. $350,000.
Yeah, I mean, they're not hitting. I was going to say, it's not like, they're doing it to the guys that only got paid, league
Right.
minimum. there was something else about the NFL that I definitely wanted to touch on. We just covered.
Side note, while you think, shout out Madden 21. Out of the 10 colleges that you get to play for as your Be a Pro this year, Michigan State is one of them.
Are you gonna get Madden? Because I know you
I already pre-ordered it.
Did you?
Already pre-ordered it.
Did you pre-order it because you could do that, or did you pre-order
I
it?
pre-ordered it because you could do that. No, they've done that in the last several Maddens. I tell myself I'm not going to buy it every year, and I buy it every year because I get too geeked up come July and August that I can't resist myself. But I do think it's kind of dope. Like, because Michigan State is an option, I am obligated as a Spartan to make sure that I take my running back, because I love being a running back when I create a player.
Yeah.
I'm going to go through my 2 years at State. I will declare for the NFL draft, and most likely the Miami Dolphins will select me. But I like the football game enough that I won't force myself to go to Miami. I'll go wherever I get drafted. That's kind of the fun of it, though. Like the randomness. Like I like the idea.
You always go for running back?
Always. It's so much fun, dude.
I would go quarterback.
I like the running back. I don't know why.
I think it's
I like
just
the
because,
running back position.
I think it's just because of the fact that with the quarterback, I don't know. Like I feel like I get to control the game a lot more.
You are 100%.
You know,
ball touches your hands every play.
And I'm just like, but I mean, I don't know the gameplay of it because it's been since Calvin Johnson's on the front that I've bought a Madden game.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm just like, you know what, like. This way I can be like, oh, hey, dish. Hey, here's my running back. This is cool.
I get it.
I can get whatever rando rookie to fucking run up.
I will say one benefit, unless you're a scrambling QB, like a Lamar Jackson or Pat Mahomes, the one cool thing about being a running back is half the time, if it is a pass play, I get to go out for a route anyways. So I'm still relevant. And if you hit A on Xbox, sorry, X on PlayStation, but you technically can call for the pass. So, like, you can scramble out in the open and just force pass it to yourself anyways, so I'm just saying.
That's what's up.
What would you play on defense? Safety?
I would always, I used to, but then I started just moving myself to a linebacker.
Linebacker is what I
just
usually play.
Just because the fact that I was just like, you know what, like I'm right in the middle, I get to play pass and rush.
Basically, that's why I do it.
So.
Yeah. It's just not fun being a pro defender.
No, I don't do that. I've never done that. Doesn't even make sense.
Did you figure out what you wanted to talk about in the NFL?
No, I got focused on this fucking Madden game because I was just like, because I thought about getting it myself, but I don't play it enough to. I don't play video games enough.
Play your 2 years at Sparty and call it good.
Just be like, I'm done. $60, thank you.
Wait for Black Friday.
Yeah. Oh, well then it's over with.
It is.
I know the life cycle of a video game, even though I don't play them. No, I don't remember this here. We're talking about the NFL and COVID. Oh! Somebody got rich this week.
Oh. Yeah, that's kind of a big deal. That's kind of a big deal. Like $500 million.
Jeez, oh, Pete.
$500 million.
500,000
Benjamins in your pocket.
It came across my phone. I go, fuck you.
503, technically.
Yeah, when it came across my phone, I said, fuck you. I didn't even pay attention.
I even said his name, Pat Mahomes. I just said it earlier. Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs signed an extension deal for 10 years, $503 million.
All right, so I'm going to ask a question. I know the answer.
Insert cha-ching.
I already
sound.
know. Is he worth it?
So...
I already know the answer that you're going to give me, but I mean...
Do you?
Do you? I have a pretty good...
You want me to play devil's advocate? No, he's not worth it.
No, it's all right.
Okay, he's worth it. So, here's the thing. In my opinion, I gotta say that all the time. Guess what? It's my fucking podcast. Of course, everything's my opinion. Inflation is a motherfucker. We've already... Many times have we talked about how... the economy in the sports world is only going to continue to go up. Like, players are only going to get paid more and more. We'll never hit a point in time where players are like, you know what? I'm going to make less. I want to be that guy. Let's start making less money. It's never going to happen. Ever. Period. Point blank. Unless, I guess, something drastic happens. Really drastic happens and, like, somehow you literally can't afford it. But let's be real. So... when we talk about $500 million, yes, it's a big deal. Aaron Rodgers was making just under $400 million. Russell Wilson signed, what was it, just over like $435 or something like that. I could be off, but he signed him up $400.
Didn't he get that after he won a Super Bowl? 2?
Yeah. So proven, he's proven he's worth the money. And so for Pat Mahomes at, what is he, 25, 23?
20. I thought it was 24.
Maybe somewhere in that ballpark. He signed a 10-year extension. No, 23. I do think that's right. Because 33 sounded, I was like, that's shit, he's still in his prime. He's still in his prime by the time his 10-year contract ends. But 10 years, no trade clause. There's still incentive.
Guaranteed 100 and some mil.
Yeah, guaranteed like a fifth of that.
He's 24.
24. So, and yes, absolutely, he's worth it. I feel like he's proven in a short time span that not only can he get the team, put him on his back, take him to a Super Bowl and win it, but everyone freaking loves Pat Mahomes. From a marketing standpoint, from like just selling
a lot of
tickets.
jersey sales.
That dude's selling jerseys. That dude's selling tickets. He will continue to fill the stands at Arrowhead. Like, alone. Him by himself can do that. So I think he's worth every dollar.
So if your team, you feel comfortable paying him $503 million.
Over 10 years, yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I at first was just like, that's insane. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's not the fact that like, I mean, I'm all for anybody getting whatever money they can make. Originally, I thought that was fucking the team.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I'm like, who the fuck pays somebody $503 million? And I was like, you just fucking shot your load on one player. You're not gonna be able to get anybody around him.
Yeah.
This contract is very fucking team friendly.
It's lucrative, dude.
I mean, it makes it so they can still go and get a ton of players every offseason for the next 10 years.
And I never even thought of it from that standpoint. At this point, you know how much your star player, that you know for a fact, you're not trading, you're not getting rid of. Like, he's a chief, through and through. Now you build. Same as they did with Peyton, same as they did with Brady, same as they did with Elway.
Yeah.
Like all of these other players, like when you get something like that in your hands, especially at that age, you're set.
And he's already a smart kid, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not like you're worried about this money going to his head.
Right.
I personally don't think so. I mean, he's already had...
Yeah, I would say that's an opinion thing, but like, he's
mean,
proven that he's a class act.
I would say... I don't like that.
No, you don't?
I mean...
He's not a class act?
I just don't like to associate him as class act. I want to say that he has shown himself as a professional...
I don't like that word,
and an
professional.
Nah, class act.
I don't like to...
This feels like gym rat. It feels like...
Two league references.
So...
Once again, this is our opinion. We can say whatever the fuck we want.
No, I
don't like that.
I don't like it.
I don't like it.
I'm telling you, larceny got to me, and I'm just telling you, I don't like it. And I'm gonna end up with that Pendleton, and I'm gonna be like, I just moved to Canada, hey. Let's talk hockey.
Shout out NHL. Even though I don't know the details, they released their playoff, their bracket.
All right.
And I sent it to you on Instagram, and I was like, shout out hockey, shout out NHL. Everyone's sleeping on the league, except for diehard hockey fans. I guess.
I mean, I was gonna say,
But,
I feel like nobody's talking about what's going on there.
But here's the thing. So could you, without knowing details, because I haven't looked into it, would you like to assume that the NHL are doing things that they need to do to have a successful playoff, and it's like maybe people should pay attention?
I think that any professional team that is moving forward throughout this whole mess that we're in should have light shown to them, because, basketball, because we didn't get to finish this season, is kind of, I feel like, really engulfed what's going on in the COVID world. Because we have a season that needs to be going forward. Basketball and baseball, because baseball is supposed to have already been going. You know, football, I don't feel. I mean, like, even though we started out the pod talking about football, I mean, it's just because that's just where we were at. But I don't. I feel like they're still working through everything, getting a plan, everything going forward. Where baseball and basketball are at the forefront. Unfortunately, for the hockey organization, the NHL, they get out. I mean, they're going against two big shadows right now. You know,
they're still getting it done.
they are, and you're absolutely correct on that. I don't mean to cut you off,
No.
but you're absolutely correct on the fact that they're not getting enough light shown to them that, hey, we've got something in place. Maybe, just maybe, everybody should maybe look see what they're doing. Because I feel like nobody's talking about what they're doing, and they've progressed along like, hey, this is what we're doing. You know, we're rolling this out. We're rocking it. And nobody's talking about it right now.
I feel like the last thing I heard about the NHL is they were still trying to figure out what hubs they wanted to play at. Because they weren't going to play all the playoffs in one city. Too many teams. So they were trying to figure out 2 or 3 locations where they were going to break down the way these games got played out. And I think Canada was like some like Toronto, and you got Calgary, Winnipeg.
T-Dot.
What?
Toronto. T-Dot.
Sorry, I didn't.
Cardinal for Shad.
Yeah, I just didn't hear what you said. Nonetheless, they're trying to figure out where they're going to play. I haven't done any research.
That's right. I didn't say Drake.
Nor do I have
Cardinal
a phone
Fischel.
because it's recording us. Nor do I have a laptop because I'm too lazy to get it out. So I have no way of looking anything up right now. But
Facts don't matter.
at all, what are facts? We have opinions.
Right. And I believe our website says,
If I did a
Trust us,
podcast about
we're right.
facts, I would tell you to just Google everything.
word.
You tune in because we're fucking dope. Come on, guys.
Oh,
I've had quite a bit of alcohol today.
I like it.
I'm feeling great.
I told you, man. I knew I should have brought the.
I had a
tequila
couple
out.
beers at the bar, though. I got my first Oberons in. I hadn't got any Oberon in
Oh,
the
really?
season. Well, I didn't see any in Fort Wayne.
Oh, that sucks, man. Because I feel like they're everywhere now.
Yeah. Did you know that the brewery's like 15 minutes from you?
No, I mean, okay. I say that with the fact that I have my brother-in-law in Texas that gets it, and then my buddy down in Chad, that's in our league, he has it down in Charleston. So I mean, like,
Yes, I'm the asshole.
I mean, like, I was like, oh,
It's fine.
you guys are the.
It's fine.
Here's the mitten, and we shit directly onto Indiana. So.
Oh my god. So out of all the state, Indiana over Ohio, huh?
I mean, I shit on both of them, but I mean, like, you live in Indiana. So I had to talk about that part.
All right.
Don't forget that we shit on Illinois too. So I mean, like, I'm shitting on 3 states.
Illinois is off to the side.
We still get to shit on them, don't we? Let me look at the
You shit on them across the lake.
Diarrhea, buddy.
Yeah, right.
Little Taco Bell incident, you
All
know.
right. Anyways, what's another sports topic we have to talk about?
Okay, so you answered that. Hold on, did I have anything else on this? I felt like I.
About what? NHL?
No,
NFL?
I meant to talk
Pat Mahomes?
Yeah. Patrick.
I'm excited to see what he can do.
503, yeah. Oh, no, I remember what I wanted to talk about. And I wanted to ask you this. Are you afraid
I ain't never scared.
that, well, this is about your league.
Oh, no, I'm not scared.
Are you afraid that if you start paying players this amount of money and it starts going more wide, that the NFL could end up in the same predicament that the MLB ended up being in when they start, now that they've been paying players more and more money like this?
Like astronomical jumps in pay?
Astronomical jumps in pay, the fact that, baseball still makes a ton of money, but I mean, baseball teams are struggling, unless you're a big market. That, and I that's one of the things that drew concern to me was I love the NFL. I love football. My favorite season is fall because
Same.
Temperature. Fall golf is the best.
Football.
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 And then
Fantasy football.
Yeah, and then basketball kicks off in fall too. So, oh, that feels really good for me. And my concern is the fact that we could end up, and it'll take years. It'll take a few years. Like I feel like it's taken baseball. Strikes really hurt baseball too, but it's going to get to a point where they're starting to pay players, but then a mass majority of the players that are going to be the reason why any team or any league will strike due to pay, because only a few people are getting that $500 million.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then there's other players like, they're paying them $500 million, and I can't get an extra $6 million on my contract.
Sure.
That's where I'm kind of looking at. Like, to me, it's kind of scary when I see. I get it's 10 years and this is all team friendly, but more and more players are going to start looking for these marquee players. Are going to start asking for these kind of dollars.
I get it.
And that's just what makes me nervous.
Yeah,
for this whole aspect.
and I feel like that's why when I mentioned earlier that I feel like that's inevitable. You have the right to feel the way you feel, 100%.
I'm just concerned.
I just don't foresee it changing, regardless of the fact. Now, I'm not like.
Do you think it's going to hurt the league, though? I guess.
As profitable as the league is within the next 10 years, I don't. But if we're talking the longevity of the league, 20, 30, 40, 50
that's what
years,
I'm kind of looking at.
Yes, but we also don't know what's going to happen regardless. You know what I mean? Like, we can't just assume the world's going to stay the way it is, and now we're paying people more and more and more and more and more. The world will change with it. The economy will change with it. So there's a lot of factors that go into place, but I would say it's 100% valid for anyone to feel some type of way, to be nervous or kind of concerned that people in general are making that much money to just play football or any sport.
I justify the money to players. I do, because the fact that if a team has it to pay it, then so be it. That's the going rate.
Sure.
All right. There's no way that I can sit here and say they don't deserve. Guess what? If they don't take that money, you know who ends up with the money? The billionaire that owns the team, anyways.
Yep.
So I don't care if they make more money. I'm all for that. Mm-hmm. My concern is if it becomes too drastic in the big picture of everything, that it hurts the league in general. That's my concern.
Yeah. Fair.
And I just was, that's one of the things that drew attention to me when I want to celebrate Patrick Mahomes getting this money, because that's an astonishing, who would have, there's no way in the world that he would have thought when he was a little kid that by the age of 24 years old, when his nuts are just dropping, that he's won a Super Bowl, he's a $500 million.
He was probably excited to make the $2 million that his dad made in an 11-year career in the MLB. Wasn't it like $2 million?
Yeah, it was like $2 million.
2.1 mil.
Yeah,
First 11 or 12 or however many seasons Pat Mahomes Sr. played in the MLB.
Amazing to think that he's just oh, you know what? My dad did outstanding things.
Could you imagine that?
Your first contract already surpassed what your dad did.
Take his contract, take his dad's total career earnings out of it, and he's still
a billionaire or half a billionaire.
$501 million.
Yeah.
Dad.
Wait. We're not even
all the money
taking
you
into
earned,
effect.
I'm gonna pull it, and I'm still over.
He plays 10 years. He stays 10 years with. Ooh. Do you think? We just assume he's there for 10 years.
There's a no trade clause.
There's a no fucking you don't work here clause too.
Right. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. The Chiefs would have to cut him.
Yeah.
Or trade him, I guess. And
either or, but nobody's going to take that contract. Until it's later.
Well, down the road to what you were just talking about, that may be the reg here in 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. Look what the Bears just took over with Nick Foles. Fucking trash. Now, we're not talking the same money, but what I'm saying is teams are willing to take a hit on pay or on their checkbook if they think a player can benefit their team. So yes, I would argue that there very well could be a couple teams out there willing to take that over.
Well, the guarantee was 103 mil, right? Mm-hmm. Or 100 and some mil, right?
Mm-hmm. That whole 503, by the way, some of that's incentive based.
Yeah.
That's not guaranteed money.
It's for something, and then with the
478 or something.
Yeah, and with the incentives gets you up
right around that ballpark.
Get you up to 503.
Right.
But the guaranteed's 100. So at some point, I mean, that's actually, geez, oh, Pete. The more I'm looking at it, like as I'm having, I mean, like I sit in the basement, I work, and then I'm sitting there stew on my fucking thoughts, and I'm working it out with you on the mic right now. But the Kansas City Chiefs really made a great move there when you look at it, not because of the fact you're getting a great deal on Patrick Mahomes, which is, inevitable, right? It's more the fact that he's getting ready to, if you would have just, even after you did the whole, what the fuck are they doing, the Dak Prescott, the, what do they call that when they,
franchise tag.
Franchise tag.
Sorry, I didn't know where you were going.
I know.
My bad.
I know, you're good,
Franchise tag.
you're good. Franchise, I was almost there too. Franchise tag, but they're just like, we don't even have to worry about the whole franchise tag and losing them or anything like that. It's like, you know what? If we would have franchise tagged him and we still wanted to go into it, we're still looking at spending $103 million for however many years. We'll say 5 years, right? So hey, let's guarantee that $103 million that we would have had to pay for the next 5 years, anyways. And if he blew balls in that 5 years, guess what? We would have busted a nut on $103 million, anyways.
Who's to say they wouldn't have ended up paying him more?
Yeah,
if they would have signed him long term.
So I mean, I tell you what, like the more I work,
you win another Super Bowl. Now what do you pay him?
Exactly.
Now they're locked in.
Exactly.
And let's be honest, like if we were fantasy players, or if we were new owners, and they said, "Hey, you get to pick any you get to pick any player to start your new franchise," Pat Mahomes is going to be at the top of a huge majority of those.
I was going to say, I think you're going either Mahomes or Lamar.
If you're building a guy, or you could argue Kyler, but hasn't shown that he's at that level. But I'm saying from a young perspective,
I was going to say I would love to say Kyler, but I mean,
so I had a question that you brought up, or that I have a question based upon what you were just talking about when it comes to the Pat Mahomes, Lamar Jackson's players like that. I was going to say, let's say Lamar's got another like two or 3 years in his rookie contract. Let's just say he wins himself a Super Bowl. What kind of contract do you think he's going to get?
$550.
I mean, you have to. You would have to offer him more, damn near, if you sign him that long.
He is way more dangerous than Pat Mahomes.
I would agree. I would agree with that. And Pat Mahomes is dangerous. But
see how bold I'm going with that?
Now, the first thing everyone's going to argue is he can't run like that his whole career. And I'm not saying he can. But what CB said is right now, Lamar Jackson is more dangerous than Pat Mahomes.
Oh, don't worry. I was going to.
And guess what, people? That's a fact.
Yeah.
I'm on the Lamar bandwagon. I think, now, if I had to pick, they're both studs. You give me either of them, I'm super stoked.
Oh, certainly.
But if I had to pick, as much as I like Pat Mahomes, no knock to that kid, I feel like Lamar Jackson is more dangerous. That was the word that you used. When it comes to a passer, I think Pat Mahomes has got a little bit of an edge. That dude slings the ball. He does it from all different arm angles. Arm. Obviously, Lamar, without saying feet, way more dangerous. He's proven that. He led the Baltimore Ravens in rushing yards and passing yards.
Certainly. I like Lamar Jackson.
And he did it as a rookie.
Yeah. And
I mean, Pat's only on what, year 2? Year 3?
Year 3 because of the fact that he sat on the bench year 1.
Yep.
Yeah. It's the more you think about it, as long as you can do the smaller guarantee. You know what I'm saying? Like if you look, I mean that's what Dak Prescott should be going for is, hey, I don't know what the contract talks are there, but if he's really trying to do it, he's not going to get, unless he wins a Super Bowl this year, he can't come back into next year conversation saying, but he should have been saying, hey, 300 mil. I haven't won your Super Bowl, but I'm that
that's
good.
If Dallas was signing that one. If it were me, with Dak Prescott, his roller coaster of a career he's had, his ups and his downs and his inconsistencies, I want to be signing that dude for over 6 years.
No, I don't watch a lot of Dallas games. I mean, I watch a fair amount, but
the only reason I followed was fantasy.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say,
seeing his ups and downs.
But I was going to say, so do you think that ups and downs are coming because of what's going on in that offense? I mean,
no.
It's Dak.
I think it's Dak. I don't think there's any that you can't knock Dallas.
Right.
Like, their receiving core has been fine. Like, Amari Cooper, it took him a minute to get going, but, like, they're... Okay, sorry. Once again, like, okay. Their line is fine. Their running back is top 5. Their receiving core, top half of the league.
Right.
I'm high on Michael Gallup, so...
He's nice.
But I just feel like the Cowboys have what they need to be
gonna start
successful.
fantasy.
And, unfortunately, yes, it rides on a quarterback. I'm looking at the quarterback to lead their offense to championships. I don't care what you say. It's the quarterback's job to get the job done.
We'll do that afterwards.
Oh, yeah. Yo, shout out T with the donuts.
Thank you.
I knew my friend married her for a reason. No, but, like, you're the captain. You got to fucking step up and you got to win games.
Certainly.
Period. Matt Stafford, you guys are leaning on him to win games. If Tua starts, we're going to lean on Tua to win games.
I have to believe Tua starting. I mean, I'm sorry, Fitzy, but
yeah, I want whatever's best for my organization.
Yeah.
We need to sit him. Let's sit him. I don't know if he's ready. I haven't been able to get enough info off him to know if we're week 1 ready yet. If there's a week 1. So, like, I just want what's best. If he's not ready because he didn't get proper offseason, start Fitz. I don't want to throw him to the wolves.
I got a good feeling about Matt Stafford this year.
I got a good baby. I got a good feeling in the Lions this year.
Yeah, I mean, like, he just had a baby. He's about ready to fucking. What's that? 4.
I don't think you're gonna. I don't think you're gonna
to
win the North. But if you guys play some good ass football, I think you guys can get wild card.
Who you got winning?
I still feel like the Vikings are the best team. I still feel like their defense is so strong, and even though with Diggs being gone, Dalvin is gonna sign. I think Dalvin plays. I don't think he sits out. I think Cousins now
$250 million.
I'm not trying to hate on Kirk Cousins. Like, I think he can play better. I think he needs to throw the ball more and be more confident. I feel like now if the run's working, run the ball. I get it. Like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But at the same time, Kirk needs to build confidence. He needs to be, like, able to move the ball on his own. Like, I need to see him drive the field without Dalvin helping him and get the job done. It's happened, but not on the reg. So, like, I need to see him step up. But that defense is good, man. They have a good defense. Bears got a good defense, too.
All right.
I guess the Packers.
Oh, that's what I wanted to tell you earlier at the beginning of the conversation. I was going to tell fucking Sparrow. I ain't Cleo Mack, motherfucker.
Oh, yeah. You can catch these hands. That is kind of dope, though, that he got to play against Khalil Mack.
And I mean, from what he said, JC, he
Sparrow
shut him down.
don't bullshit either. He's a straight shooter. He's an honest, good dude.
Here's the thing: is when he said that, not 1 second did I think that he was like,
no,
bullshit.
Not me either.
I was like, damn, really?
Dude, Sparrow will be like, I fucking suck. They're way better than me. Like, I've had conversations with him. I don't remember what team it was that he played. It was one of the big teams, and I know I just asked him like a couple months ago, but I forgot again. But I remember him telling me that there was one game they played, and he was just like looking up at the D line, and just massive men. You know, and like the team themselves, the line as a whole, the whole unit
was like,
didn't fare too well. Like, it's gonna happen. You play for Ball State. No disrespect to Ball State,
right?
But like, you ain't no fucking Alabama, homie. You're not Virginia Tech. You're not.
Your fucking defensive tackles are 6'8".
Not to disrespect the players or their talents.
No, right.
But he is smart enough to say, "I know what you mean."
Yeah,
I know what you mean.
So, like,
but that's still dope because in my eyes, he's the best Ball State player to ever play the game. Ball State Hall of Fame.
He should be. You gotta hang that jersey up.
Pancake record.
Yeah. Is he really?
No, but in my head, he is. He is the record for eating the most pancakes and getting the most pancakes on the field.
Was just like, wait a minute, hold on. He has a pancake record and he didn't fucking bother ever tell me that shit?
So, do you think Chris Sparrow is the type of guy to put peanut butter on his pancakes? What do you think?
Well, if he's a real man, yes.
I put peanut butter on my pancakes.
Fuck yeah.
So,
waffles,
Sparrow,
French toast.
Sparrow, if you're listening, if you put peanut butter on your pancakes, feel free to share our podcast on your Facebook and then let us know your answer.
Word. And
then tag Proficient Fans and me and CB.
There you go.
So I don't miss it somehow. Because I really want to know if he puts peanut butter on his pancakes.
I mean, to me,
he seems like Sparrow.
He seems like a bulk
guy. He's into supplements. He's into gains.
Yeah.
I would like to assume he wants a little protein on his flapjacks.
Well, I was gonna say that. I mean, he lifts heavy, so he needs that extra carb.
This guy fucking lifts heavy.
And so.
Rumor has it that Chris Sparrow wears a squatting belt underneath his everyday clothes.
Who was? I can't remember.
That's legend. Oh, that's just what I've heard.
Caitlin. I remember she's out there. Was it her? Maybe it was somebody else. They told me they saw him at the gym, and he's doing fucking flies with the whole fucking rack just going, huh? And I was just like, yo, fuck. I was like, I'm not even a fucking quarter down that motherfucker. I'm like, we're gonna do 15. That feels like a good amount. Yay! Oh,
I love it. I love it when he goes, "Hey, big guy." I'm like, "Fuck you," because I know that definition of big ain't the big that you get happy for. So fuck you. Hey, big guy. Fuck you, Sparrow. Fuck you and all your muscles.
Oh shit.
Go green.
Go white.
Just because of that argument on Instagram today.
Let's see here.
NBA,
the bubble.
Bubs, the Bub Masters. Bubble McBubbletons.
Yeah, so there's been a lot of talk. There's been a lot of talk as far as like I see it on Instagram. Rondo put something out about the fucking what is this Motel 6? It hurt my soul. Maybe it's just coming. Maybe it's because I only follow Lakers. But and then
what are you putting my guys in?
And yeah, right. But no, part of me was like that. I'm like, yo, I stayed at Epcot. Them beds are cushy.
What you got the king sleeping in?
I'm like, AD need leg room.
He needs silk.
Egyptian cotton.
He needs a fucking tiger rug. And at the end of his bed, a lion rug.
Yeah. Oh, go kill one of them giraffes for him, please. So
he's the king, bro. Lions. King
I know, but I don't think they have random.
Why are you killing giraffes?
Because they actually have giraffes running around. The kingdom.
So you're trying to be literal with your animal murder.
Trying to kill that shit. Yeah, F you in your face too, woman.
Oh, that was cute. That reminds me of when I whooped your ass in Fantasy Championship last year. Remember that, Sarah?
That reminds me of the time my husband stuck his middle finger up your asshole.
Oh.
Wait a minute. Wait, you supposed to put him down.
I don't think the mic's picked it up. Let's just play it off. Hey, nobody knows what she said. Nobody knows anything that happens behind closed doors.
Gotta figure out why I got fucking hemmed up.
DB never put his finger in his own asshole. I just want to make that very clear right now.
What the hell? Oh, only when I was itching.
She said, finger popping your own asshole. Yo, shout out T for the donuts again. Appreciate you.
Even though it looks like the bean was already
big ass box of donuts. Is this a norm in the Watkins household?
No.
Oh, okay.
She was out with friends, so she probably buzzed.
No, she knew that I was here.
I'm sure she didn't mind.
And she was like, I want to treat Clay to Sweetwaters.
A little taste of home.
I'm about to get a lot of taste of home. That was a big box of donuts. I'm about to smash.
What's funny is she probably only got like 6 donuts.
I know, that's what I was thinking. Fucking half eaten. Well, I cut them all in half so I could try them all.
Right.
Shout out Shawarma King. I got Shawarma King yesterday for the UFC fight.
Shawarma's fire.
Fire. Oh, we got it.
Wait. Which shawarma did you get?
Shawarma by campus. Drake and West.
Okay, I was gonna say
fire.
That's the one you gotta go
That's
to.
the only one you go to.
Oh man, me and T fucked around and got the one on Westnedge before, and we were like, yo, that was dumb.
Yeah, I've heard bad things.
And like I've done the buffet there before, which was cool, whatever.
I wouldn't mind trying that.
I mean, that was cool for a buffet, but I mean, like, when we tried to get like our regular sandwiches and shit, we were like, yo, you fuck these sandwiches all the way
I got
out.
hummus at Justin's crib waiting for me. Shout out Justin for the hospitality this weekend. I'm excited for that hummus.
Jay Williams, I hope this picks up.
NBA bubble.
I hope this picks up because I saved this thing, but Jay Williams said it best, and I hope you can hear it too as I play this. If we can't hear it, then I mean it makes no sense for me to play it because then I don't know when it's over with.
You're plugged in. I'm sure we'll hear it.
But he said it the best, and I was because I'm sitting there and I'm like, yo, like they're doing the best they can, but then he said this.
Shout out the source.
Oh shit! Yeah, no sound for us so we can hear it. It's playing in the pod right now.
Yeah. Well, can they hear us talking over it?
Yeah.
Oh, we'll be quiet. I guess if I can't hear it, I don't know what to say though.
What we'll do is after this is done, I'll pause it and you can listen to
We
it.
just talk over all of Jay Billis.
No, not Jay Williams. Jay Williams.
Oh, Jay Williams. I think you say Jay Billis.
I might have on accident. I've been drinking. Larceny.
Can I get that course?
Go for it, dude.
I meant like, hey, hand it to me. Thank you. This show's too far.
And for our YouTube viewership, you don't get to see it.
If anybody out there wants to put together our podcast every week, let me know. You can do our artwork.
Challenge accepted.
Episode
105.
explanation?
105.
What?
I'm going to look for 105. I'm going to see if I can put this fucking video in.
Onto our YouTube?
Let's see.
We'll find out.
I'm on vacation.
I didn't know that. How long?
For the week.
Is he still talking?
It was long.
Clearly.
But I mean, it makes sense.
I guess.
And you'll find out after you listen to it. I don't know if I want you to listen to it because of the fact that I'm going to have to cut the video. Nah, whatever. Seconds.
Left? We could do a traditional proficient fan pause. Nah.
Oh no, we're going.
No, I don't want to fuck up the video.
All right, cool.
We'll let it ride. We'll be all right. I'm educated enough.
All right. So I'm gonna pause the audio though. I paused a bit for audio.
You can just cut the video then. Or let it. No, I meant like you.
Oh yeah.
You get a chance to have millions of dollars in your bank account. You live a different level of life. That is drastically different than what real, everyday, working Americans are going through right now. Now, you're in a billion-dollar bubble. If you want to complain about the anxieties you have from COVID-related issues, I get it. Complain about that. We all have the right to complain about that. But when I hear NBA guys complaining about living facilities, the food that they have being delivered to them, it is tone deaf. It is tone deaf. We need to think about people who are everyday working people who are making minimum wage, trying to make ends meet, that are going to factories, that are going to really harsh work
Perspective.
environments, where if anything, maybe their employers are doing less to ensure their safety because they're trying to increase the bottom line. They're trying to earn and make money back from all the money that they lost in the times that a lot of these states, individually governed, have been dealing with this issue. So when I see guys that are going into a billion-dollar bubble, and are getting food delivered to them, they have beds to sleep in. You can't complain about that. Not while you're making millions of dollars, not while your employer is going through drastic measures to protect you while they're still paying you. When that's not the case for everyday, real working Americans. That bothers me. I don't know if individual teams and their PRs, their PR team, public relations teams are working with these guys, but they have to. The league has to. Because some of this stuff just leaking out and guys just having a lot of free time and just posting this stuff is not the right look for the league right now. Now while they're trying to focus on finishing the season and allowing a lot of other players to earn the amount of money that they're able to earn. It's tone deaf. It's tone deaf. Boy, listen.
You ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're back, and Clay, after hearing what Jay Williams said, what do you have? What is your thought on that whole?
Definitely perspective. I had kind of some similar thoughts. I saw a social media post a of a lunch. It looked like a biscuits and gravy, some eggs, and some rice. I don't know if you saw the same post or not.
I saw like some crazy steak
And I saw that one too, yeah. And you know, it was funny because part of me did, like, I had a brief thought of, I was like, that's a lot of, like if for the big spread that you were talking about, I was like, there's probably a lot of people that would be killing to be eating that shit.
Word.
You know, and so like I had that thought. I also was like, but I know where you're coming from. Like, I understand the lifestyle you probably live. How some of these superstars have chefs that make their food for them, and yeah, no, it's not going to be what they're receiving. I will say the one thing that I will agree with Jay Williams is, you know, for all of those people out there who are struggling to get by, that are almost looking at the NBA or other sports leagues as a means of escape, to get out of the reality we're in, to focus in on something else to make us excited, to then see those people bitching about, like, yo, my pillow's not fluffed enough. That's an exaggeration, but you see where I'm coming from. They're just like, this isn't nice enough. At the end of the day, that's essentially what everyone's saying. This isn't nice enough, or this isn't good enough. You know, it will make some people feel some type of way. I could see how fans,
the ones that spend money,
yeah, and the average Joe's like being like, yo, like, what the fuck's your problem? You know what I mean? Like, we all know you're not at a, you know, in a penthouse right now. Like, we get it. So
we get that this is the Airbnb you would have signed up for.
They're allowed to express that. Yo, this is my meal. You know, like, if you want more food, like, if that's your purpose, if that's your point, I would assume they could order more food. Maybe I'm wrong. I would like to assume they could say, yo, can I get 2 dinners?
Yeah, right.
And get more food. If they're not happy with it, they could also just, I don't know, speak to the hotel, maybe? Like, can I get something else? Like, I don't know. Like,
I'm sure they have full reign of, like,
I'm sure they can get whatever
food.
the hell they want. And I guess I'm not. I'm just not against what he said. Now, when it comes to perspective, yes, it's easy to flip sides and say, you know, for the average American, like, you're shitting on us. Like, be more appreciative. But I still also understand that these guys work their fucking ass off to live a certain lifestyle that they wouldn't have without their hard work and dedication. So for the league to say, well, we're putting you in this spot, you don't have a choice if you want to play. I can also see where their pushback would be to the league of saying, so you're forcing us to do what you want, but then this is what we get in return. So I could see the push to the league, but it's not being addressed appropriately using social media, because to the average fan, it's coming off the wrong way.
I was gonna say, so for me, I'm looking at it, and I 100%, like, when I was just like, man, I was like, I'm in the same boat. Like, I'm sure you can get different food. Like, why are you putting this out there? Like, this is a bad look.
Which, for the record, I'm not saying it looked super appetizing.
But I mean, I still would have smoked it.
No, I would have too. But all I'm saying is, they're not getting like a 5-star dinner and then complaining.
Right.
Like, they are getting average-looking meals.
Correct.
Average to say the best.
But here's the thing, for a majority of the guys that are on the team, that is probably what they're eating.
Agreed.
All right.
That's why earlier I said the superstars.
Yeah. So it's like, let's and like,
Can I piggyback?
Yeah, go for it.
Sorry to cut you off. You said that's not how the whole league's eating. Shout out John Morant.
Yeah,
I
saw that too.
I don't remember the quote specifically, but it was along the lines of,
it wasn't that bad.
I don't need anything fancy. It wasn't that bad. I'm not a silver spoon guy.
And none of them are.
The rookie is basically saying, like, yo, like, yeah, man, it's not the best, but, like, I don't need that. Like, it's food. I'm good.
Balling.
We good.
Well, and when I was sitting there, I don't know if the camera picked it up, but I'm sitting here counting. And I took away March, right? So April, May, June. 3 months' time, they were able to put this together. What did you want to happen? Did you want to get paid for the rest of the season, or did you not want to get paid for the rest of the season and just start over at the beginning, start over in October?
Yeah.
What do you want? Because you can't expect them to be able to. I mean, like, it's still amazing that they were able to create a bubble like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, to be able to create a bubble to say, hey, Disney, we need you to shut the fuck down so we can play.
Okay.
Right? Like,
all right.
I mean, like, people travel the world, all around the world, to come to fucking Orlando, Florida, to go to Disney World. And they're going to shut off an entire part of their park for basketball.
Yep.
All right, so what do you want? Do you want to get paid money? Or do you want to not finish up this year, lose out on the remaining part of whatever part of the contract that prorated for you to get paid, and then you just pick up in October and start the new season of 2021? It's up to you, but I mean, complaining about the food, I mean, I think that's pretty fucking shitty. Complain about where you're sleeping, I think it's pretty shitty. I get it if you have a fucking spring in your back because the fucking mattress is broke. I get it. Complain about that. But I mean, if you got a roof over your head, you got cable TV, and you got a fucking bed, let's keep it rocking, man.
Yeah.
Like, this is for a short period of time.
Yeah.
Like, that's another thing that drove me nuts. I was just like, you complain about a short period of time. Now, this is the fan in me, I guess, more so than anything else. I might think different if I was the player. But as the fan, and I'm sitting here watching, I'm like, legitimately, like, I slept on the. I remember my kids wouldn't go sleep in their rooms. They have their bedrooms upstairs. They wouldn't sleep in their rooms when they were really young. They slept in. They were like, they will sleep in the living room. But guess what? They slept in the living room only if Dad would sleep out there. I fell asleep on the fucking living room floors for 2 years. Like, I would wake up a lot of. I mean, I'm a heavy sleeper, but I mean, like, but if I woke up, I went and I fucking went to bed. You know, I went to bed like a normal person, but there are a lot of fucking nights that I slept the entire night on the fucking living room floor because it made my kids comfortable. You know what I kept on saying to myself? It's a short period of time. My kids have a whole life. I'm gonna sleep on the fucking floor. You are being asked to sleep on a motherfucking Motel 6. Rondo, I love you. You're a fucking Laker. I got nothing but love for you. But don't complain. But, I mean, you're gonna say a Motel 6 fucking place? It's a fucking bed. It's got a bathroom.
Yeah.
You have your privacy. You get to go to a state-of-the-art place to play basketball for a couple months. And then you get to go back to your fucking real comfortable living.
It's a humbling experience for a lot of these players.
Well, I mean, like, for the college guys like Zion and Ja.
Yeah,
you know,
they're straight.
They're like, yo,
This
is still this is just what I came from.
Yep.
All right. For the older guys, I get it. You know, like, this is. I mean, you've been playing for LeBron 16 years, 17 years. Rondo, damn near the same. You know, like, those kind of guys, like, they've been in the league for quite a few years where they're used to a comfortable living.
How long did you say Brian was in the league?
I said 16, 17.
Yep.
And I just think that it's like, hey, guess what? This is what you came from. There's a good, even if you didn't have a rough upbringing, I mean, I want to think everybody came from the kind of upbringing I came from, which was just very basic. A lot of the guys that I'm thinking of that are ball players, right? Yeah. So I'm sitting here like, yo, you guys have came from like what I came from, and I'm like, when I go on vacation, I go to a Motel 6? No, I don't. I get a nice place to fucking stay at because I want to be comfortable.
Yep.
I get that. But I also know that I made a bad choice on an Airbnb one time. I was like, that was a learning experience. That was something I experienced. And I moved the fuck on.
Yeah.
If it affects your fucking play, then okay, then let me know then. But you just showed up to this place. We don't know how it's affecting you.
Right.
Don't complain.
For sure.
And LeBron hasn't complained, but of course he's probably got the fucking, he's probably got a cushy. But
yeah. I mean, he said, yo. Boom. All on this shit.
Right. He's like, give me that NASA shit.
You know what's funny too, man, is for all the players who are like basically saying, no, we're playing basketball. And now they're like, yo, what the fuck? We're trying to
right.
It's like,
make up your fucking mind.
Make up your fucking mind.
And this is my sport. I love this sport. And I believe that these guys deserve.
This is your
to be
sport.
comfortable.
You love this sport. I agree.
I mean, like, I love basketball.
I love LeBron James.
Yeah. I love the Lakers. So,
You better hope he never retires, because as soon as he does, Proficient Fans is no more
sucks.
NBA segments.
Oh, I mean, I'll still talk about Zion.
You will. I won't. LeBron will be dead.
So
Basketball will be
NBA's it. Well, I mean, because we will still have an NBA segment. It'll just be me talking alone.
Oh shit! You're gonna love that. All right, I'm back. The fans want.
Hey,
the fans get what they want, and I'm back.
Let's quickly jump into some UFC shit, man. We started off at the beginning. Fight Island happened this weekend. We got to see what that was about. Did you expect them to fight on the beach, or did you?
No, I knew they were indoors.
Okay.
I ain't no bitch.
I was watching Dana on the on a live stream for his Instagram, and he's reading some comments. He goes, "Fuck no!" He's like, "We have an octagon on the beach." I said, "Yes, we have an octagon on the beach," but he's like, "Fuck no, we're not gonna fight." And he's like, "It's hot as fuck out there." He's just like, "The AC works great in here." He's just like, and he's like, "I'm gonna be honest." He's like, "There's too many variables to have a fight out in the open." I mean,
could you imagine players like walking out? Well, first of all, where do they walk out from?
Right.
Where's their walkout to the
you
octagon?
You make fucking what is
up the hill about a half mile down there.
The tent. So I was gonna say a Sherpa, but I don't remember the fucking tent name.
Sure.
A
no, man, it was an awesome fight. I got out of work an hour late because we were freaking slammed. So like, my phone is streaming the prelims. But had to get that yawn. Phone is on my dash right past my steering wheel where like my odometer is.
Right.
And my and all that shit. So I was watching the prelims, and I got to KZoo just in time, and got over to my my watching destination well before the pay-per-view started up. As far as the fights go, dude, the card was excellent.
Yeah.
I have zero complaints.
Well, I got a complaint, but not about the card.
Gotcha. So I enjoyed the fights. As far as some of the decisions, I got a feeling I know where your complaint comes from. So we'll get into that here in a second. But as far as Fight Island, Yaz Island, and Abu Dhabi, shout out Abu Dhabi. Made it happen. We had an international UFC fights. And I tell you what, man, yes, there are people testing positive for COVID. I mean, Gilbert Burns, who was supposed to be fighting Usman for the title, the main event, got COVID. And Jorge Masvidal, within 6 days, had to accept the fight, cut 22 pounds, and then still fucking showed up like a goddamn professional, like the bad motherfucker he is. Legitimately won that bad motherfucker title. So there you go. Still showed up. So
let Nate get that rematch.
But go ahead. What do you got?
No, I mean I got to I didn't get to see any of the early prelims. I did see a few of the regular prelims, but nothing astronomical though. Those are still
nothing
solid.
We can talk about.
Your girlfriend Paige.
Paige Van Zandt.
Yeah, Paige Van Zandt. I'll be honest, going into
super sexy. Good boob job. Good job.
Going into it, I like the idea of a fighter being loose, but I kind of felt like she was maybe going in too loose. She got caught. What was that, an arm bar there?
For lack of better words, the arm bar was trying to happen, and
she got tapped out. And
within a minute and a half.
Yeah.
Maybe within a minute.
I mean, they go to the second round though, didn't they? Yeah, second. Wait.
No, first round.
First round, yeah, round one.
What, a minute something?
Yeah, the 2:21 is what I see here.
Yeah.
So I mean, almost 2.5 minutes. But I was definitely disappointed. I was rooting for her, just because I'd like to see somebody be, hey, let's have some fun, let's enjoy what I'm doing.
She lost me some money.
Yeah, I imagine. I thought that you probably bet on her, and I actually picked her to win only because my girl Angie Overkill Hill picked her. And so, I was like, yo, I'm rocking with her.
Yeah.
Then we had, maybe I should have you read because I'm not good with names.
Andrade versus Namajunas.
Yeah, so
I don't even need that list.
And I talked with Justin before these fights earlier in the day because he accidentally called me via Snapchat. I was sitting there and Snapchat call. I go, what the fuck? So I was like, hey, I've got a second. What's up? And I believe I had Rose winning this one, and I was a little nervous there for a while, especially because the way she was looking.
So, I will say I was not. Reason being, just so you know my picks, I'll go over them as right now, and then we'll get into these. I did a couple bets. Paige lost me 2 of my bets because I did a single bet on Paige. I did a 5-fight parlay, which of course she fucked that up right out the gate. Then I did a 4-fight parlay. We'll get into the results later. We obviously know what happened with Van Zandt, but I had Van Zandt, Namajunas, Volkanovski, Piotr Jan, Volkanovski, and Usman.
Okay.
Those were my picks.
Those are not good picks.
Those are great picks. Yeah, right. So Van Zandt obviously got the L. We go to Namajunas. So here's part of the reason I went with Rose. So did you watch the UFC countdown video that Justin sent you?
Yeah.
So shout out Justin. You don't need to send that shit to me. At this point, I'm going to be searching for it every week. Feel free to let me know like what day they drop. If you want to keep sharing them, that's cool too. I'm just letting you know I'm dedicated at this point.
Because it gives me
I'm in this shit.
Yeah.
I'm in this shit. So like I'm in the trenches. But yeah, keep sending it if you want. I appreciate you for that. But I watched during that countdown. They were showing Andrade and Namajunas. They just recently fought before last night. Andrade basically picked up Namajunas a couple times, but on the last time picked up Namajunas, slammed her on the back of her head, KO. Boom,
Yep.
done. Andrade, whooped up on Namajunas at that point. And so, moving forward, reason I picked Namajunas, reason I was confident with her going into it. Her trainer is her fiance, which is pretty cool. That doesn't give an edge, in my opinion.
Right.
But what I liked is to refocus for this rematch. They just moved. Like, they didn't move their house, but like they relocated for camp.
Yeah.
They went to Minnesota. They wanted to get away from any norm, any comfort, and they wanted to wake up, work out, go to bed. Wake up, work out, go to bed.
Right.
And I was like, for you to relocate states because all you want to focus on is one thing, and that's whooping someone's ass. I was like, I can appreciate that dedication, that focus.
Rose is a beast, dude.
And Rose is a beast. So I ended up going with Rose for that. Obviously, it went all 3 rounds.
Yeah.
It was a great fight.
Yeah.
It could have went either way. But I personally think
had Rose
Namajunas.
winning.
I thought she dominated. She got the dub, and fight number 1 on my 4-fight parlay, done.
And we just stopped for a minute. I have to piss. I'm gonna be able to fucking hold off. I will sit here and pee my pants.
You ain't cool unless you pee your pants.
And I'm gonna have to fucking pound the water tonight.
Yeah, me too.
One more?
No.
Okay.
I know that ice is taking up a good chunk, though.
I was just like, you looked at it like I was like, I treated you like a
Let's
child.
go. Let's keep it moving. Ain't no point in waiting.
I was just trying to make sure that you didn't think I was treating you like a child with your drink.
I'm excited to see you edit this fucking video.
Oh, I'm sure it's gonna be fucking glorious.
Everyone's over peeing over here and getting drinks over here.
I know, right?
And
Well, and I was like, do I bring those donuts out now because the fact that
I thought about it, but I was like, nah.
Well, and I was just like, I was just like, nah. I was like, I don't want to feel like I'm trying to keep them from out of my house. It's just keeping the dogs from barking crazy and shit.
We good.
But yeah. So I mean, I had Rose. I feel like I believe I told Justin I was going Rose because I think he had Rose as well.
If I've learned anything, go against Justin. And let me tell you why, CB. Very next fight, Piotr Jan versus Jose Aldo.
Okay. No, I had Aldo before I even spoke to him about Aldo.
He also had Aldo. Guess
Yeah.
who your boy picked?
Yeah, Jan.
Piotr Jan.
That was a bullshit fucking thing.
No, that was not a bullshit fucking thing.
No, wait,
And
that's not
you're
the one.
thinking
That's
of
not.
the
I'm
next
thinking of
fight.
that
I already
one.
know what you're thinking of.
Yeah.
I already know what you're thinking
I'm ready.
of.
I'm ready to be angry. But
Piotr Jan. So we got Piotr Jan facing
that
Jose
was-
Aldo. Jose Aldo, Hall of Fame. Like
he got Wally Wop.
He's cut weight to get down to the weight class he's at. And you know what's crazy, bro, is he didn't get Wally Whopped until the 5th round. So now we're in title fights. So now we're going 5 rounds. This is for Henry Cejudo's vacant belt.
Yep.
And so the winner of this fight basically becomes the unanimous champion. And Piotr Jan is he's the up and comer. Like, he's undefeated in the UFC, if I'm not mistaken. Could be wrong on that, but I don't think he's lost in the UFC. And he's fighting a legend, dude. Like, Jose Aldo is a legend. He's been in the game for a minute, bro.
Yeah.
And my gut just told me to take Jan. I felt like with Jose having to cut the weight to get to a weight class that he's not normally fighting at, I had confidence in the guy, let alone from Siberia, where, as quote, he says, "We don't live, we just survive." Fuck yeah, I'm putting money on you, bitch. You don't live, you survive.
Yeah.
You haven't even lived your life. You've survived this long.
Right.
Fuck yeah, I'm putting money on you.
I was going Aldo. When I told Justin, I was just like, I'm rocking Aldo as well. I was just like, I said, I'm going old with it. I'm going Aldo. He's like, well, he's not even that old. I'm like, 100%. I get it, but it's like LeBron
32.
James isn't that
32
old.
or 33.
30. I thought it was 33, but
Yeah. It's one of those two.
yeah. But I was like, LeBron. In my head, I'm like, LeBron James isn't that old, but his body is taking a beating, right? So that's the way I look at it. I mean,
LeBron's 35.
Yeah, I was gonna say
He is getting there.
He is
bro.
getting there.
He's
yeah.
getting there.
But I mean, like,
But he don't play like it.
well, because
Back to UFC.
yeah, I was gonna say you got me getting ready to go Laker talk. Laker talk.
My mama told me to tell you.
But I was just like, there's a lot of fucking skin in the game when you're in there that long, and I was like, I'm taking him to be. I feel like the older fighter, and it was more the fact that I feel like he lost his last fight as well, and I was like, I think he's due for a comeback, but apparently not this week, because I mean, when I sat there and saw the pools of blood coming out, I'm like, they need to call this.
Yeah, it got to a point where Aldo ended up hitting the deck, and Piotr Jan had top control. And yeah, man, you're absolutely correct. They were kind of wrestling around for a little bit, but then it got to a point where Piotr got him into the crucifix. So he got his left, Jose Aldo's right arm pinned down with his left shin, and his right arm pinned down by his right hand, and he's just bam, bam, coming down on Aldo's head.
Yep.
Aldo scrambles around a little bit, but I would say for at least a solid minute and a half to 2 minutes, Piotr Jan just rained hell on Jose Aldo. That should have been called before halfway through.
I'm sitting there
Before
watching. I'm like, I
halfway through
can't
it.
wait to find out what you thought about that. I mean,
It should have been called.
it was no like. Well, but here's so you say that, and I personally agree because I was just like, there wasn't enough even after Aldo was able to fight himself out of like, hey, I'm still fighting here. I'm not just getting my ass whooped. But do you feel that the ref did the right thing or the wrong thing by letting it continue?
Wrong.
Yeah.
So here's the thing: we know when a fighter is defenseless, and they're not defending themselves, you call the fight. But if that fighter, like Jose Aldo, had an arm up here, okay, and he was getting popped in the back of the head kind of a lot, he still wasn't in the right mindset to defend himself properly, and there wasn't intention for a next move. He was purely hanging on. He's too prideful to tap, and he was waiting for the ref. Please call this fight. Like, in my opinion, that's how I saw that. Aldo was covering up, saying, I'm waiting for the ref to step in, and it just never happened. It just never happened.
So, because I was thinking the same, part of me is thinking the same thing, but I also know that I have seen this happen, where, man, they should call this. They should call this. Holy shit!
Right.
And so it was like,
But those moments are 10 to 15 second segments, not
a minute and a half.
120 seconds.
Yeah.
Don't, like, we've seen that. We've seen players get rocked, fall over, somebody gets on top, throws a couple real good shots, they reach for a leg, they cover up, and then they somehow recover.
Right.
Jose wasn't recovering. I could show that clip to an uneducated UFC fan and a UFC aficionado. Both of them will agree that that fight should have been called.
Yeah,
And when it's that,
I was a little stunned that they didn't call it sooner.
When it's that obvious, dude.
Especially when it was, I don't know. I feel like as I sit here and we talk about it, part of me thinks that they let it rock longer because of who he was. Because here's the thing: you don't want to take away anything from a fighter like Jose Aldo.
No.
I mean, you could have taken. I mean, like, because if you call it too soon, then there's a chance. I mean, where there was a chance because he fought out of numerous opportunities where you're like, oh, maybe he's gonna actually get out of this. It's Canadian whiskey, man. It's nothing special. Yeah, let your like a couple of the wrinkles in your sack just loosened up.
I'm hanging lower. I'm hanging lower.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that
You're calling the ice.
Yeah, I know. I told you, man. You gotta drink that ice. With that one. I just think that with a fighter like Jose Aldo, you have to let it go further. And he kept fighting out to enough where I even, as I'm watching, goes, ooh, we have a chance. We have a chance. Well, I said when he'd fight out real quick, like he'd buck out.
Before they got to the ground? Like at the very end?
Well, I mean, at the very end it was like over, but I mean, there's a couple times he broke free a little bit.
Throughout the fight?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. I thought we were still talking about the end
Oh,
ground.
the end, I mean, but that wasn't a minute and a half. I mean, that wasn't that long of a time.
Yes, it was. Piotr Jan was on Jose Aldo's back for about a minute and a half, just pounding away.
I'm gonna trust you because I was on struggle bus number 9.
Like
all I can think of is like if these guys called me for this one.
There was a point when Jose had both hands covering his head, and you could see the ground and the puddle of blood that was forming around his head. You know what
right.
like shot I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I made a mental note, and I was like, it's been a minute. And then it still hadn't been called yet.
All right.
So that's why
I'm going to take a look at that.
It was just over a minute. And it was, and you may not think it. You're going to go back and be like, holy shit.
Yeah.
And that's why I was so flabbergasted at the fact that the ref didn't call it.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, this isn't like 20 seconds of headshots. Like, you got to remember, Piotr Jan did it when he was against the fence. Then it transitioned away from the fence. Then it transitioned to Jose giving up his back. And then finally, the ref stepped in, dude.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Go back. It's crazy.
I'm gonna check it out. Because of the fact that I felt like, and like I said, I was on the struggle bus at this point. Like all I could think of was like, don't fall asleep. Like don't fall asleep. I mean, and I was pissed because it was 2:00 in the morning before the fucking fights were over.
Yeah, it was. I was tired.
Oh my gosh, I was just like. Part of me, like, because I knew you were coming up here, I almost was gonna ask Justin, can I come over? But like,
we were at Nick's.
Oh, were you? Well, still, either or.
Mm-hmm.
I would have asked Justin, he'd have been like, we're at Nick's. So
should have hit me up.
Well, because of the fact that I was
Pro Fish Fans.
One of the reasons why I was like, nah, I don't want to do that is because I knew wherever it was going to be late as fuck. Now, I would have easily stayed up if I'm around people, and I stayed up last night, but it was a struggle.
I was in and out in the Usman thing.
But it was like, I was like, man, I don't want to have to worry about driving home afterwards.
That's fair.
So yeah, that was.
Kudos to Jan, though.
Yeah, it was a great fight.
He's got the belt.
You took down a legend.
What weight class?
That is the shit. It didn't say. Yeah, I think it was Bantam. Oh, yeah, it doesn't say. But then you got Max Holloway and
Alex Volkanovski.
Yeah. This is the fight
Go
I was
ahead.
waiting
I'll
to
just let you get it all off your chest, man.
Nah, man. Like, here's the thing. UFC's done so much work to fucking put themselves above and beyond everybody else right now. And you cannot have bad judges during a time like this. Because here's the thing. Here's what I thought about this.
Let me correct you. You cannot have bad judges. Period. Go ahead.
But especially at a time like right now.
That's what I was saying.
No, because somebody like yourself, myself, because like I would say I have been a in and out UFC fan for years.
I didn't get into it really till like February, March. invested.
No,
That's a better word.
yeah,
I
yeah.
haven't been invested.
That's what I'm trying to get at. It's like
yeah.
I've been in and out. Like I can have, I feel like, and maybe I'm giving myself too much kudos, but I feel like Justin, who is probably one of the most knowledgeable UFC fans that I know, I was able to have a conversation with him pretty easily. I feel like. Now he was right on a lot of things. And he educated me on a lot of things, so I don't want to like be like, yo, I can hold my own no matter what. I'm just saying that I felt like I was able to have a good conversation with somebody that knows what the fuck they're talking about. So, but I've been in and out. Somebody like yourself, and this is the opportunity for UFC to gain a lot of people to watch them. As you can't fuck up. The reason why boxing has lost a lot of fandom is the corruption, right? I mean, that to me is personally what I've found over the years of being a boxing fan is that corruption has really hurt the sport of boxing.
Can you elaborate for the listeners?
So last night, I'm just going to talk about last night. I don't want to go back to the history of boxing.
I just meant what you meant by corruption.
Corruption. Where judges aren't calling the fight the way that they really are supposed to be.
Okay. Yep.
There's a hidden agenda for whatever reason, a payoff, whatever it may be.
Or just lack of knowledge.
Or lack of knowledge.
Yep.
Last night, from what I saw, Max Holloway won. I had went 5 rounds. I was being generous, and I did 3-2.
I had it at 3-2.
And I just don't see how you could have at any point not given Max Holloway 3 rounds.
At minimum.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Minimum.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So and that was a hell of a fight. It was a great fight, but Max fucking dominated the fight. And I don't get how. This hurts the UFC brand, and I know Dana's man. You know what I mean? I know all the investors, all the owners that are part of the UFC. Anybody that has anything to do with the UFC has to be upset with this. Yeah. I don't remember what fighters once again spoke out and was. Oh no! You know what I was watching? I watched the Fight Companion or whatever. It's Joe Rogan. He'll have his buddies over and they watch the fights and they talk about shit and talk about fights and shit. And Joey Diaz, a comedian, not a fighter, not an ex-fighter, just a comedian, but he really loves UFC. He goes, they need to. He's like, bottom line is you got to. He gave a whatever. I think he said like a blue belt or something. That you got to be a blue belt at this, and and like something belt. He's like, you have to know. He's like, to be a judge, he honestly believes that you have to have some kind of credential within fighting to be able to judge these fights. And from what I don't know what the credentials have to be a judge in the UFC, but to me that was 100%. Here's the thing. He's kind in saying you got to be a blue belt. I say you have to be a black belt. Mm-hmm. If you want to put your brand at the top of the fucking level, and you have a black belt. Black belt's the best belt you can get in any martial art. Right? This is mixed martial arts. So you get a jiu-jitsu guy, you get a taekwondo guy, you get whatever else. You know what I mean? You get a boxing guy.
Yeah.
Or whatever, but you have to be proficient at whatever special it is that you cover. And I don't feel that that's what they're doing with UFC right now, because the fact that in my eyes, I don't believe that Max lost 3 rounds.
Yeah, it wasn't your eyes. It was everybody's eyes. So, as I said earlier, I bet on Alex Volkanovski. And at the very end of the fight, and I'm like, fuck, Nick, because me and Nick did matching bets, our own money. I was like, well, we did our best. We got pretty far. We got the first 2, because Van Zandt was out, so we made another 4-fight parlay. I was like, we got the first 2, dude, but it is what it is. And I sat there and I was like, and still champion. And I, because Bruce Buffer, he'll either say still or
he like
new
point, like
champion. And I was just like, and I was like, and still champion Volkanovski. And I kind of made a joke about it. And it fucking happened. And when it first happened, I'll be honest, I was like, let's go! I was like, I spoke that into existence. I'm the reason Volkanovski won. There's no other reasoning for it. And then as soon as it happened, because Justin picked Aldo, Justin picked Holloway. I don't know who he had in the final fight. I think it was 50-50, and it happened, but then I was just like, we all understand that Holloway got robbed, right? Like, it was obvious, dude. I thought no doubt about it. At worst, it would have still been a 3-2 split to Holloway. And it could have easily been 4-1. 3-2, 4-1 Holloway, hands down.
That's the way I saw it.
And so, to go off of what you were saying with the refs, I completely agree. If you were to go to... What?
Judges.
What did I say?
Refs.
Did I say refs? I'm sorry, judges. Yeah, completely different topic. To go off the judges, and I can, if we were to go to random people, uneducated UFC people, just Joe Schmoes, and we were to say, hey, so I'm going to judge this, we're going to have a competition, and it'll be about a very particular special trait that these individuals have. You would assume that the person judging has some type of background knowledge or understanding of what's being judged to give a proper judgment. But yet we have random people of these states who are certified to judge these events, yet they don't know what mixed martial arts is.
I've yet to find out what it takes to be a boxing judge, because I looked into that shit.
And so I guess to cut it kind of short, I completely agree with you. They need to have ex-fighters that are
judges. You're agreeing with Joey Diaz.
They need to have
which I agree
mixed
with.
martial arts experts. Now, black belt, I'm not going to say they can't be, they have to be black belt. I'm with you on where you're coming from. If you're going to be the best, then you need to have the best judges, period. Totally get it. I won't argue with that. But for a stepping stone, how about, where are the individuals, where are the UFC fans who are certified? Why are they not speaking out? Why are they not tweeting Dana? Yo, I know how to do a fight.
It's not even tweeting at this point. It's you're putting. I mean, the way I'm looking at it is, you're like, look, I can do a great job to increase your brand.
Right.
Would you not? I mean, fuck that tweet.
What I
mean
by tweeting is it's that simple of a statement to say you need to better yourself. You need to better your brand.
Oh, even Dana has been very critical.
No, and he has. He came out and actually talked about severe penalty and potentially loss of job for these judges. They're done. Period. You're gone. You'll never judge another UFC match because of the blatant fuck up that they had with the Holloway Volkanovski fight.
That was mad disrespectful.
Yeah, and you know what sucks even more. So Volkanovski and Volkanovski and Holloway fought when Holloway had the belt.
Yeah,
and Volkanovski beat Holloway. And the crazy thing is Holloway swears after even rewatching footage, he goes, "That fight was mine." He goes, "If you leave it in the judge's hands, they're gonna fuck it up." And that's how I lost my belt. This was a rematch, just like the Jan fight.
Yeah.
Just like Piotr Jan and Jose Aldo.
But, and that's another reason why Dana and the rest of anybody that ever has been in UFC is you can never leave it to the judges.
Yo, side note, Jan and Aldo were not a rematch. Sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't say Mike, but I was.
I'm taking it. No, I said it, and I'm taking it back.
Yeah.
I'm taking it back.
I was like, I didn't see Mike.
No.
But I mean,
it was Andrade and Namajunas. Andrade and Namajunas were the other.
It was crazy because this week I was watching something as we're going into the last fight here. I was watching something and they were talking about how. I remember talking to you and somebody lost and I was like, yo, do you think they really fucked themselves? And you're like, yeah, no, and I was just like, I'm like, man, I don't know, but like in boxing, you lose one, and it's like, oh shit, your career's over, right? Where if you're in the UFC, all your top tier fighters have lost one, two.
Right.
They have L's on their fucking record.
Most of them.
You got
Not all
two.
of
You know, there are only two that don't have it. But I mean, every Hall of Famer,
Who are they, CB?
Khabib, and I don't remember the fucking second person.
Describe him, because I already know.
Isn't he Brazilian?
Israel Adesanya. He's Nigerian.
Oh yeah,
19 now.
didn't he tie though? No,
19
that
now.
last fight, yeah,
19 now.
yeah, Stylebender.
I just wanted to call you out.
Because I love Stylebender like that, and I fucking forgot his record.
No, we're Proficient fans, and we still like to have fun.
That's what's up. Because
Hashtag
Stylebender's
Proficient
the
fans.
shit.
He's the
Stylebender's
shit. I like him a lot. Speaking of Nigeria, though, unless you got anything else to say.
What was I talking about? I see my child. What up, B?
Usman Masvidal, main event.
All right.
The third title fight of the night. How
yeah,
crazy
that
is
was
that,
a
first
lot
of all?
fucking fight.
Fight
Well, all
Island.
they did was
Shout out
stack
Fight
up.
Island.
All they had to do was stack up because they couldn't get the Fight Island wasn't ready, and then I mean all they could do was the America fights.
Mhm.
You know.
Yeah. So we have Usman and Masvidal for the main event. Gilbert Burns, which I mentioned earlier, was slated to fight Usman for teammates in camp. Like, I'll be honest, I was ready for that fight.
No, oh yeah.
Had Burns fought, even as much of a killer as Usman is, I was going to go underdog and go Gilbert Burns.
Well, they'd already
Outright.
fought though. You know what I mean? No, that was I was thinking. No, they haven't. I was thinking of that fucking MAGA dude that he
Canadian
beat up.
whiskey, guys. Don't underestimate.
I know, right? No, Pendleton, wherever you are.
You haven't even drank yours.
I've been doing sipping on it. You can watch the film. I'll take a baby sips because I'm like, yo,
For a little baby back bitch.
man, your future champion is what you referred to me as.
Wait, what does that make me then? What do you have to call me right now?
Lucky.
What's my official title?
Oh,
Let's get it out.
you're the champion.
Ah!
You're the champ.
That felt good. Thank you.
I'll
Oh,
give
but wait,
it
no.
to you.
Who won it last year, though? Like the year before.
Two-time
Oh, that was me.
champion.
Thank you.
Two-time champion.
Two-time champion. Sorry.
Excuse me. Let me rephrase this. You're gonna make me do it again. Back-to-back champion.
That
There
felt
we
good.
go.
I actually wasn't going to.
Oh, I just had a feeling.
No, because it's
I-
called. You know what that's called? That's called respect.
It's called proficiency.
That's called respect.
It's called proficiency, motherfucker.
proficient in respect. I don't care what you call it. But nonetheless,
No, great fight last night, man. So you were talking about Justin and his pick. He picked Masvidal, but like he picked him, but we both
Did he?
agree- Yeah,
Did he? Okay.
yeah. He goes. At least it went in our conversation.
Ooh, he struck out then.
Because he's just,
Aldo Holloway and Masvidal.
I was 2 out of 3 because
Yeah.
I went Max and Aldo as well. But he went Masvidal and I went Usman.
I went Usman.
I was like, I just didn't want to believe that's for camping. I didn't want to believe that.
Just give me that. I'll hang on to it.
Yeah.
That's one of the boxes or no?
No. You can have Twizzlers that are up there. You want candy for camping? Professional. I'm a professional parent as I podcast. Yeah,
I can see you in the octagon right now yelling at your kids in the front row. I said no!
motherfucker. You got popcorn. That's what you get.
Hey, CB himself is a professional as an individual. You would have made weight. You would have cut the weight, made weight. Unlike some of these motherfuckers who can't seem to do
Dude,
that.
I hate not making weight.
But yet you still would have yelled at
Did
the
I not
octagon.
give Jorge a lot of credit for that? I was like, that's a professional right there.
You texted him? Yeah, well, you sent that to me? Well, first, you already know what I would have said. I'm in the same boat as you.
Yeah.
Jorge Masvidal gets 6 days notice on this fight. Main event, nonetheless. Pay-per-view. And then cuts 22 pounds.
Professional.
Which, that's not even in 6 days. That 6 days was before fight day.
I wanted,
5 days, he cuts 22 pounds.
I wanted him to win just because of being
I did it.
professional.
I
that he
like
did.
money.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you. Here's the thing: is like I chose Usman, as I told Justin, I go, I would not be surprised if Masvidal wins. I was like, because basically because of the fact that like I was just like,
He's
wow,
a bad motherfucker.
and it wasn't the whole fucking Miami hype videos they kept on bringing up.
The Rock is cool though.
Yeah, but I mean like I mean Dwayne Johnson. Dwayne? You talking about Dwayne?
Yeah.
Yeah, Wayne, he's good people. No, I mean it wasn't the fact that they did that whole hype video. It was the fact that he jumped in, he was able to make weight, and I was just like, he's a professional. He knows his business, right? But I just didn't see that happening. I just thought that Usman was already prepared to fight. And Usman, here's the thing: even if Masvidal had enough time to prepare, I still would have. Well, excuse me. After seeing last night's fight, maybe Masvidal, a proper amount of time to fight, would actually be able to contain. But I mean, what was your scorecard last night?
Masvidal Usman?
Yeah.
Oh, Usman won every round.
Okay.
I don't think there was a single point in time where he didn't control that fight.
Just
And
dominated it.
and here's the thing: like when it comes to fighters, and it depends on the fighter that because Usman once again was supposed to fight Gilbert Burns. Gilbert Burns is a completely different fighter than Jorge Masvidal.
Two professionals, got in the ring
And
last
so
night.
for Usman to basically complete 95% of camp, ready to fight Gilbert Burns. His sparring partners are mimicking Gilbert Burns. His technique is to defeat Gilbert Burns. Everything he practiced was to beat Gilbert Burns. And when a fighter comes in a week, less than a week from fight day, that's all out the window. You're physically in shape.
Right.
You're ready to fight. But
The science of it.
But when you get a change of fighter, I mean, we're talking about MMA. Like people think UFC is like, oh, so they can wrestle. No, we're talking jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai,
Dude, I can't.
kickboxing.
I'm looking forward to when my
Karate.
kids could take jiu-jitsu.
Did I already say
so
boxing?
I can do it.
Did I already say
you
boxing?
might have.
Brawling. Like
Well, you
there's
got
so many.
Taekwondo.
Dude, there's
You
so
got
many.
you got
I just,
Muay Thai.
No,
you
don't
got,
do what I just did. No, don't take this moment from me.
No, I'm agreeing with you. I'm like, there's a lot of mixed martial arts out
You
there.
almost got
that you
Muay Thai right now, bro.
can
You.
You got wrestling.
I said that too.
Did you really?
Yes.
I'm sorry. I'm drunk.
Canadian whiskey.
No, not just Canadian whiskey.
Canadian whiskey.
Pendleton. You all right? North of the border. You gotta have a passport to get there now.
Siakam.
Quickly slap him.
Slamming.
Oh shit.
Anyways.
Yeah. That fight. I mean, much respect to those two guys. They showed respect after the fight, which was cool, and they said they're gonna run it back, man.
Yeah. But
Yeah. Well,
so Dana came out and already stated that Gilbert Burns
gets
was
the
going to
first
get
fight.
the winner of the fight. So we're still going to get Usman Burns for the belt.
Yeah. But
A full camp Masvidal, I would still like to see him get a shot at the Usman Burns fight.
well, I was gonna say so. Like, yeah, most certainly because
Yes.
the fact that he did. I mean, he earned it. He earned it.
He still went 5 rounds with the champ.
Yeah.
Like, yes, Usman, in my opinion, dominated that whole fight. You still went 5 rounds with the champ
6
on
rounds
6
ready.
days.
Six
I
rounds,
got
6
it.
days, I meant.
Yeah, I got to see this dude at full strength.
And that's exactly what I'm with you there. And I mean, they came out. They're like, and Jorge was just like, "Yo, we running it back." And Usman said, "Yeah." He's like, "Most definitely," or something like that. Like I saw some video that was
Yeah.
saying, like basically, like Usman was like, "Yeah, we gonna run that back." Like,
Yep. They
Like-
said it in the ring.
yeah,
They
in
said
the
it
ring,
in the
after-
octagon after the fight.
Yeah, we're gonna
I'll
run
see
it back.
you again.
Yeah, and I was just like, that's mad cred right there, and I'm really excited for that fight.
Mm-hmm.
Last night was fun, man. It was a tough fucking watch because of how late it lasted, but
Yes, it was.
I'll be honest, man. You get your money's worth of the UFC shit, man. I mean, if you think about like all the fights that you get in one night,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize that the fights had started till I got a notification on my phone. First round knockout, first fight of the night. I go, wait, oh shit! Went and changed it there real quick, but then me and the fam went out for a little walk. I was like, you know what? These are prelims to the prelims.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you know what? if I'm gonna dedicate myself to anything and lose out on family time, it must better be the late ones. So, great night of fights. UFC did it big. From what I can see, Fight Island is a legit success.
Yeah, we still got fights Wednesday, this coming Wednesday, this coming Saturday, the next Saturday.
Yeah.
You got 3 more Fight Island events, and all 3 of those fights are completely free for anybody to watch. ESPN.
And guess what? I don't work this week.
Guess who's still going to watch even though they work?
Hey, I would have watched it if I had to work anyways, but
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's just kind of nice to know that I will get done because, like, you heard me say something about camping.
Yeah.
We're going to be camping about 20 feet that way.
Yeah.
And,
hey, and the cool thing is fight nights don't go that late. They're usually done by 11, maybe 12, maybe 12. So,
well, either or. I
take
mean,
a nap. Shit.
Yeah.
Take a nap.
Well, I mean, I wake up, walk the dogs with my wife, and then I'll be like, you know what, kids still sleep. I made coffee. Here's coffee for you, woman. I'm going to go back to sleep.
There you go.
So,
that reminds me of those donuts. Just wrap it up.
Yeah. Time to wrap it up, G. Yeah, that's about it, man. Great week. Was your week coming up to this good?
Yeah, man. I said fucking wrap it the fuck up! Wrap it up!
Good. All right, man. I have nothing to report either. So.
Hey, Fight Island recording. Shout out CB for the setup. This was dope.
I'm glad it worked out, and I'm glad that I thought ahead and got that light ready because, like,
that shit came in handy, bro.
It definitely came in dark.
I keep looking at the camera, like, barely can see it, and I'm like, this is what it feels like to be a star. This is what it fucking feels. We made it, bro.
You've been a star.
Episode 92, and we fucking made it.
You've been a star.
Shit.
I'm gonna have this set up. I'm taking that down the basement now because I was like, yo, that's what's up, man. I'm like, light me up, bitch. I gotta find that white light though.
Yeah, the ring light.
Yeah, I know. I've been looking at that.
I thought about getting one for my place too. Although I feel like I'm pretty well lit. But
yours is good. Mine is not.
I can still get like.
Yeah, mine isn't, and I know that I need to get one.
Yeah.
But I've also been looking at a camp. But anyways, guys, thank you.
Wrap it up.
We really appreciate you sticking around for 2 hours. We're out. Peace.
Take care.